When I was 3 months old, my mom realized I had a vision issue. She took me to an ophthalmologist because I was not making eye contact. She soon learned that this vision issue is incurable. She equipped me with skills like Braille and the abacus with guidance from LV Prasad's Vision Rehab department. And she prepared me for school. Despite the initial shock, my mom quickly figured out ways to bring me up just as any other kid. She had this perspective that her child should have the same opportunities and experiences as anybody else. There's a lot of difference between should and would, and my mom believed her child should have the same opportunities and experiences. From the very early days I can remember and recall, my perspective had been shaped by the love of my family. Her unconventional decision to put me into regular schooling transformed my life phenomenally. However, almost every school refused my application or to even talk to her in the first place. When all doors seemed to be closing, a newspaper article about Mary Christine and her school with inclusion ideas, Marika, were a fresh breath of air. My parents approached her and she readily agreed to give me an admission. I finally got into Marika. Marika was a very small school then, and yet they were very supportive. This wonderful place introduced me to the experience of schooling. I thoroughly enjoyed it. To me, Marika is actually a very big school. It has place for everybody. Doesn't that sound familiar to the ideal world that we all want? Fast forward few years, I was done with my grade 6 and I had to change schools. A few schools refused my application despite my academic records. My parents approached Meridian with great anxiety, just like any other school in the list. Though she did not know the way forward with me, the principal of Meridian agreed to give me an opportunity to study. When I was in school, I was not aware of the struggle my family had to go through. In parallel, my family made sure I had a very normal childhood. My mom constantly helped me experience things around me. I'm blessed to be surrounded by people who are willing to mainstream me. Over time, a number of instances helped me realize that I had everything in this world. One of the profound ones that I remember was when I flew my first kite and I took down the other one. The only way for me to know where the kite was with the string of thread in my hand. And my family enabled me to do it. Over time, such experiences and incidents helped me experience the lack of want. And this is where the magic of life's exploration began. Learning itself has not been a very straightforward process for me. You would learn geometry by drawing diagrams. I learned the same geometry, but by touching figures constructed by sticking matchsticks and thread on paper. You were busy painting a house on paper, while I was busy building one with some clay and sand. You would give your physics viva by drawing circuit diagrams and answering questions. I answered the same difficult questions. And I also identified components like resistors, capacitors, and a Little Hearts cookie through touch. Yeah, you heard me right. I said a Little Hearts cookie. I remember in my class 12 practical exam, my invigilator was handing me these components and I was identifying them. Suddenly, he hands me a Little Hearts cookie. I got it right within a blink of an eye. And I passed. We talk about putting people on Mars. We want to put people on Mars. But I think we can do a lot better for back on Earth. Understanding education for the differently abled. Improving it through technology. Redefining concepts to learn. I never got it done easy. At times, I struggle to explain my teachers the slightly different ways of using assistive technology and everyday objects as learning aids to teach me certain concepts. But their willingness to quickly learn and adapt slowly made learning a truly educative experience for me. I was into regular schooling. My friends could have reacted to this in a number of ways. They could have isolated me. They could have bullied me, but they chose to understand the situation and include me. The first moment of extreme surprise with the computer was when I was 8. One day, I heard my computer speak out my lessons to me. I was fascinated. Over time, I realized that technology can profoundly impact the quality of lives of people. It has certainly improved mine. A lot of what I do today would have been possible only in science fiction movies a decade ago. I decided that I wanted to take up a career in computer science. But unfortunately, I was not allowed to choose math and science in my class 11 and 12. Not because I was not academically capable, but only due to the fact that I was a visually impaired student. I was denied the opportunity to give the AIEEE, the entrance exam for most engineering colleges in India. Institutes disregarded the fact that I could do a program in engineering and denied my admission. Their reasons varied from, I quote, engineering can endanger his life, to, this guy just can't do engineering. I started to understand that proceeding with an admission in an engineering college in India is not going to be easy. Not because of my academic capabilities, but only due to the misconceptions about vision impairment. I got into International Institute of Information Technology, Hyderabad, based on merit. The decision to give me an admission was solely based on merit. I've done my master's by research in computer science, focus on accessibility and assistive technology. Access to mathematical content is a significant challenge for people with vision impairment. Through the research component of my course, we've taken a small yet significant step towards solving this. We've proposed and developed techniques to render mathematical content in audio in such a way that a visually impaired listener can understand them. Experimentation showed that using our techniques, visually impaired listeners were able to answer basic math questions with a correctness of 95%. To put this in perspective, this was a meager 30% when the equations are spoken as regular English sentences. Our work was presented and published in the 11th International Conference on Natural Language Processing and the 30th Technology and Persons with Disabilities Conference. Recently, I graduated with flying colors, a proud moment for my family. Hey, I got this far. I, after all these years of my journey, realized that I'm in a position to impact the lives of many more through my technical contributions. I now do this through an internship with a fantastic team at Microsoft. I don't look at this as a job, but as a fantastic opportunity to improve technology for the differently able through my contributions. Perhaps me trying to solve a challenge that I face every day and looking at a problem from a user as well as a developer's perspective has put me in this position. Not every day has been all about studies. I have just as much fun as anybody in their 20s. I enjoy music, not just listening to it. I play the drums. I've been a part of a couple of rock bands in the city, and I've also had the chance to share the stage with music maestro A.R. Rahman once. That was an overwhelming moment for me. My family has given me an abundance of experiences. Tower jumping the 50th floor of a building, deep sea diving, paragliding, horse riding. These are just a few of the many amazing experiences I've had. I'm blessed with a sister who's my friend and who's been very supportive of me through the ups and downs of my life. Today, it's very natural for my friends to include me, be it going to a movie, a trip, or a trek. Getting here is half the fun. Being here is all of it. I stand here with this bold dream of revolutionizing assistive technology as we know it today. With advances in the field of computer science and newer ways of interacting with technology, there is an ocean of unexplored possibilities, and I'm all set to take a deep dive in. Technology, when designed for everybody, can let anybody do what they love, including me. Did you know Drag and Dictate, VoiceOver, automatic captioning and translation for YouTube videos. These are all first developed as assistive technology and later mainstreamed. The next time, be mindful of where it all began. We have to make this world a better place for everybody. And friends, we are all in this together. Thank you.